welcome to my second springtime class. Going to do something quite similar to last week, quite a lot of twist to detoxify the body, and adding on some couple of little extra bits. So challenging you a little bit, but just remembering that it's your own practice, just doing whatever you can, taking child's pose at any point if you need to, or an easier modification. And just most importantly, I hope you enjoy class. So making sure you're sitting comfortably. And then just allow the hands to rest on the knees around the thighs and allow your eyelids to close over. Making sure every tiny muscle in your face is softened. Making sure you're sitting nice and tall. Opening that space in the chest, that space in the heart. Broadening the collarbones. Allowing space for the breath to travel throughout the body. In this class we're going to be focusing a lot on earthing, a lot on grounding. So right now we're just thinking about every part of the body that's connected to the mats. Feeling that sense of earthing, that sense of grounding. Just allowing the breath to travel in through the nose and out through the nose, sealing off the lips. And if you're familiar with the Jaya Pranayama breath with sound, just begin to practice this. Softening through the back of the throat. Creating that wave-like sound or that sign-like sound at the back of the throat. Allowing breath to slow down both mind and body. Just continuing with another couple of rounds, making sure you send your breath to every part of your body. Noticing the movement of your chest and your abdomen as you breathe in and breathe out. Just another couple of rounds here. And then when you're ready, just open your eyes. Take your arms overhead. We're just going to work on some twists and stretching through the side body. So release the right hand onto the mats and take the left arm overhead. Bending your elbow to just send the elbow in the direction of the mats. As you breathe in, rise to the center. Now coming into a twist, taking the right hand to the outside of the left knee. Left hand comes behind and twist round. And as you breathe in, rise to the center. As you breathe out, left hand releases down onto the mat, right arm comes overhead. Inhale to the center. Exhale, left hand to the outside of the right knee. Take the right hand behind. Breathe into the center. Exhaling, right hand onto the mat again, left arm overhead. Really getting deeply into the side body as we create more space. Now as you inhale, reach to the center. As you exhale, right hand to the outside of the left knee, left hand behind and twist. Inhaling and reaching fingertips up. Exhaling, left hand down, right arm overhead. Inhaling. Now twist as you exhale. Inhaling, rising the fingertips up. Exhale, right hand releases. Try to bend your elbow now to take the forearm down onto the mat, just to get deeper through that side body. Trying to ground the left sit bones down. And then as you inhale, reach up. This time exhaling, coming into that twist, making sure you're twisting from the middle part of the torso rather than just taking the gaze behind. Rinsing out the internal organs as we twist a little bit further around, gazing over the left shoulder. As you breathe in, rise back to the center. Now over to the left, releasing the left hand down, bending the elbow. Forearm draws towards the mat. Inhaling. Lift hand to the outside of the right knee, twist round, still growing nice and tall, crown of the head. Reaches up towards the ceiling. Inhaling, reaching to the center. Exhaling to release the hands. Going to take the feet out in front. And we're going to begin working on the core, so take the hands to the backs of the thighs, and as you breathe in, just hinge back slightly and lift both feet off the mats. And then as you breathe out, just tap the right toes down onto the mats. Inhaling. Exhaling, left toes tap down. Inhaling, lift up. Now both toes exhale. And inhale, this time repeating the same with hands on or off the thighs, exhaling right toes down. Inhaling to lift. Exhale, lifts. Inhale to lift. Exhale, both. And inhale one more time, exhaling right. Inhaling to lift, exhaling lifts. Inhale. Now both toes slowly with control. Inhaling to lift up, holding it here for 1, 2, 3, cross the feet, hands on the mat. Take the feet behind and we're going to make our way into plank pose. So stacking the shoulders above the wrist, making sure the elbows are above the wrist and the shoulders are above the wrist, drawing the heels away, core is firmly engaged. Now release the left knee down onto the mat, rotating on the shins parallel with the shorter end of the mat. Reach the right leg to the back of the mat, extend the right hand up towards the ceiling. So we're continuously thinking when we've got the shoulder underneath here to really draw that shoulder back. As you breathe in, rise the right foot up. And holding it here, finding that strength through your abductors. Then we're just going to start pulsing. Just tiny movements. Starting to work the glutes and the inner thighs. Now as you exhale, release that foot down onto the mat. Release the right hand down, swivel on the left knee. Lift the right foot back up and extend the left hand forward. And we're just going to hold it here to find the strength. And then as you breathe out, draw the knee and the elbow in towards each other, and then breathe in to extend. Breathe out, elbow in towards the knee. And then extend away with the hands and the foot. One more time, elbow and knee come towards each other. And then lengthen them away from each other. Now bend the knee, take the hand around the foot, and pressing the foot into the hand, peel this left shoulder back. Use your right hand to support you as you open out through the chest. Making sure you're not allowing the knee to splay out to the side. Release the left hand down, keep that right leg hovering and place it between the hands. Making sure you've got space between the right heel and the left knee. Press into the left hand and send the right hand up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, release the hand to the outside of the foot, press into the right hand, send the left hand up now. Exhale to release. And then using one inhale to sweep the fingertips up towards the ceiling, coming into Anjaneyasana, low lunge, sinking down into that front knee as we lengthen through the left hip flexor. Allowing the chest to be nice and open, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Now tuck the back toes under, lift the knee off the mat, rising up into a strong high lunge. Making sure feet are a leg distance apart, giving you that space to bend down into the front knee. Hands come either side of the front foot, step back into plank. And then as you exhale, lower the chest all the way down onto the mat, preparing for exalted cobra. So take the hands just wider than the mat, making sure elbows are above the wrists. Press into the fingertips, make sure fingertips are tented. Press into those fingertips and lift the chest. As you exhale, release the chest down towards the mat. Two more here, inhaling, pressing into fingertips, lift through that chest. And then exhale, release the chest down onto the mat. Inhaling again, lifting and lengthening. Exhale to release down. Now take the hands below the shoulders. Use your knees to help yourself up into a plank. Lower the right knee down onto the mat now. Swivel the shin so it's parallel with the shorter end of the mat. Extend the left leg behind and take the hand up towards the ceiling. So coming into this modified side plank. As you breathe in, lift the left leg so that it's in line with the hip. And then just really tiny pulses here. Beginning to switch on those stabilizer muscles to allow that leg to hover. Creating strength through not only the leg but in the hip. As you exhale, release the foot down onto the mat, then release the left hand down. Swivel on the right knee. Lift the left leg so it's parallel with the mat again and extend the right hand forwards. Taking a moment here just to find your stability, using your hand and your knee to support you. Draw the elbow and knee in towards each other and then lengthen out. Try to get a nice arch through the back as you draw inwards. And then really lengthen out. And again, drawing in. Lengthening out. And then bend the knee, placing the hand around the foot. This push and pull movement as you push the foot into the hand, drawing the right shoulder behind. Using your left hand for stability. Using your core, using your breath. Release the hand down onto the mat. Step the left foot between the hands. And again, making sure you've got the space between left heel and right knee. So just taking that knee back if you need to. Press into the right hand, send the left hand up towards the ceiling. Nice openness through the chest. As you exhale, release the hand to the outside of the foot. Press into that hand as you float the right hand up. Exhale, release the hand down. Now from here, Anjaneyasana, low lunge, reaching fingertips up towards the ceiling. Take a nice exhale to sink down into the front knee. And then we're going to tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee off the mat as we find our high lunge. Making sure hips are square with the shorter end of the mat. As you exhale, release hands either side of the foot, step back into plank. Lower the chest all the way down onto the mat. Coming into low cobra this time, so take the hands below the shoulders, tuck the elbows in. You're going to press into the hands and just lift the chest a little bit. And then as you exhale, release it down onto the mat. This time as you inhale, peel the chest off and the hands. And then exhale to this time coming into full cobra, press into the hands. Straighten the arms as much as you possibly can without compromising the lower back. Take your gaze over the right shoulder, and this is your opportunity to just make sure you're resting in the tops of the feet. And then release to the center, making sure that you're hip distance apart too. Release to the center. And then slowly lower the chest all the way down, finding your plank, this time using your knees. Or just using your arms coming straight into that plank, firm core, exhaling downward facing dog. First downward dog of the practice, we might feel a little bit tight through the backs of the legs. So even just bending into one knee, sending the other heel down towards the mat, just nice pedaling through the feet, making sure you're doing this very slowly. Feet are as wide as your hips. Hands are as wide as your shoulders. So just continuously thinking about your foundation. Thinking about your alignment. As you breathe in, come up onto the balls of the feet. Breathe out, sink the heels down towards the mat. Even peel the toes off slightly. Inhaling, rising up onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, descend the heels down towards the mat. Peel the toes off. Inhaling, rising back up, lifting the gaze, bending the knees, making your way through to the front of the mat. Exhale, coming into a nice forward fold, drawing sit bones up towards the ceiling. Melt the torso towards the thighs. As you breathe in, just stack one vertebrae on top of another. Then lift the head up, followed by the arms, bring the palms together, gaze the thumbs. Coming into a standing twist, take the right hand behind left hand forward, gazing towards the back hand. As you breathe in, reach the hands together. And then as you breathe out, extend the left hand behind right hand forward. Breathe into the center. And then as you breathe out, slowly come into a forward fold. And then we're finding your Utkatasana chair pose. So bend into the knees, imagining you're sitting into a chair, then lift the torso, the fingertips up towards the ceiling. So finding strength in this posture using all four corners of both feet. Lifting up into the arches with the feet sitting down a little bit further if you can. Then send all of the energy into the right foot. Peel the left foot just a little bit off the mat. Then start to extend the left leg all the way behind, finding Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. If this is too much, either bring the palms together in front of the chest or take the hands all the way onto the mat. We're going to bend the knee for 1. Straighten it. Exhale for 2. Inhale to straighten. Exhale for 3. Inhale to straighten. Exhale for 4, sinking a little bit lower this time. Then release the foot all the way down onto the mat, coming into a high lunge. Making sure the feet, all 10 toes are facing towards the front of the mat. Both knees are facing towards the front of the mat. So when we're thinking about alignment, constantly thinking about making sure knees and toes are in the same direction. Release the back foot down onto the mat, finding Warrior 1. So Virabhadrasana 1, making sure the back heel is slightly further out than the toes. Palms are spinning inwards. And trying to think about squaring all through your hips. We're sending the right hip back, the left hip forward. If that's too difficult, just walk this front foot out ever so slightly, and it just allows that left hip to come round. Now release the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. Take a moment to open through the chest and preparing for humble warrior. So right shoulder comes to the inside of the knee. Arms come overhead. And just allow your arms to get heavy as they come further overhead, to release the head farther towards the mat and open up further into the head. Really great one for stretching through the inner thighs and also strengthening through the legs, and at the same time opening through the shoulders. Now release the hands down onto the mat. We're going to take our fingertips here and just reach further forward, surrendering the head closer towards the mat. So it's like an extended humble warrior. Then begin to walk the hands more central. Square off the torso, begin to straighten the right leg. Framing your front foot with the hands. Continue to think about this squareness in the hips as we come into Purusuttanasana. If you've got tightness in the hamstrings, just bend into the knee or take the arms a little bit higher. Just taking a couple of more breaths, releasing into the back of the legs and also stretching through the left side of the torso. Now rotating the ball of the back foot, bending into the knee, hands firmly either side of the foot. Step back into plank pose. From plank, we're going to do 3 chaturanga press ups. So either drop down onto your knees or keep the legs straight. Lower halfway down towards the mat, elbows stay tucked in towards the chest. Lift up for 1. Exhaling. 2. 1 more, 3. Lift up straight in the arms, this time lowering all halfway down, and then lift up into an upward facing dog. Resting in the tops of the feet, pulling up into the thighs, allowing those knees to lift off the mat. Roll over the toes, come into downward facing dog. And just stepping your feet forward slightly if you need to, sinking heels down. As you breathe in, rise the left foot up towards the ceiling, coming into 3-legged downward dog, lifting that foot up as high as it will go, without compromising the squareness of the hips. Draw the knee in towards the chest. Place that foot gently through between the hands. Press into the feet, come up into a high lunge. And just taking a moment here, finding your strength in this posture. As you exhale, come into a twisted high lunge, just swiveling the torso so that it's parallel with the longer end of the mat. Left hand is back, right hand is forward, activating through the back leg. Then release the back hand down the back leg. Front hand comes up towards the ceiling. Still bending down into that front knee. And coming into the twisted highland. Bring the palms together in front of the chest now. So thumbs to the sternum, then take the left elbow, right elbow to the outside of the left eye. And draw the left elbow up towards the ceiling. Pressing into your hands, continuing to get that rotation through the sternum. Now either staying here or taking the right hand to the outside of the left foot and the left hand up towards the ceiling. So continuing to rotate further through the torso, drawing the right side of the ribcage forward, the left side back. So it's just continuously finding tiny adjustments in your body to create that space. Bring palms together now in front of the chest. Look forward to your left foot and hop the right foot in to meet the left, coming in to Parvarita Utkatasana. Staying here, taking the right hand to the outside of the left foot, left hand up towards the ceiling. Continuing to rotate, continuing to rinse out the digestive system. Palms together. Inhaling, coming back to the center. Straighten the legs and then release the hands as you fold forward, swallow down in the arms. Just even taking a big exhale out through the mouth here. Then bend into the knees, coming into Utkatasana once again. Literally imagining you're sitting in a chair. Your thighs are nice and strong, making sure the knees stay parallel. Now all of the energy shifts into the left foot and just lift the right foot off slightly. Begin to extend the right leg behind. Hips parallel. Taking a moment here, finding your strength in this balance. Remembering your modifications, hands together in front of the chest or hands on the mat. Bend into the knee. Straighten the leg. Bend back into that right knee. Left knee, straighten the leg. Left knee one more time, bending. And straightening, this time bending a lot further. Placing the foot to the back of the mat, lifting up in to a high lunge. Release the foot down onto the mat, Virabhadrasana 1. And again, just taking a couple of breaths here. Rooting down into your foundation, making sure heels are in line. That adjustment if you need to in that front foot. Back heel further out than the toes. Then release the hands behind the back. Interlace fingers, draw the hands down. Open through the chest. Left shoulder to the inside of the knee, arms overhead. Humble warrior. Baddha Virabhadrasana. So just allowing the head to come closer towards the mat. Allowing the arms to get heavier. Keep plugging into your foundation. Now release the hands down onto the mat, extending the fingertips forward, feeling that lovely stretch through the back of the torso. Walk the hands more central, turning through your hips. Begin to inhale and straighten the left leg. Hands framing the front foot, but if you need to, lift the hands a little bit higher up the leg. Squaring through the hips, left hip back, right hip forward, torso melts down towards the thigh. Bend back into the front knee. As you do this, swivel on the ball of the back foot. Hands firmly either side of that foot, make your way into plank. Either drop down onto your knees or legs straight for another 3. Chaturanga, press ups, exhale. And inhale. Making sure elbows are facing behind. Making sure the tops of the arms just become parallel with the mat. Exhaling one more time. Inhale, straighten the arms. This time coming into upward facing dog, bending the elbows, pushing the sternum up and through. And then come into downward dog. From downward dog, just taking a moment, finding your foundation, pressing into the hands, more so the base of the fingers and the tips of the hands. And then lift the right foot up towards the ceiling. And draw the knee in towards the chest. Place the foot through between the hands. Press into the feet, rise up into a high lunge. This time with the right leg leading. As you breathe out, come into that twist, gazing towards the back hand as you take the right hand back, the left hand forwards. Right hand slides down the left leg. Left hand comes up towards the ceiling. Stretching through the left side of the body, then inhaling back to the center. Palms together in front of the chest. Left elbow to the outside of the right knee, continuing to twist so the thumbs are coming to the sternum. Staying here, our left hand to the outside of the right foot, right hand up towards the ceiling, activating through the back leg. Continuing to twist. One more breath. Hands together in front of the chest. Gazing towards the right foot, hop the left foot to meet the right. Knees together, continuing to twist, staying here. Our left hand to the outside of the right foot, right hand up. Palms together. Inhaling to the center. Reaching fingertips up. Taking a moment to find your strength. And from here, we're going to lift the heels off the mat. Lifting them a bit higher if you can. Pulling up into the thighs. Really focusing. As you exhale, start to take the torso parallel with the mat, keeping those heels up. Inhale, lift to the center. Release the heels down straight and the legs, it's an asana. Step back into plank. So from plank, we're going to work a little bit more in the core. So we're going to press into the right hand. Take the left hand towards the right ankle. And then extend the left hand forward as you take the shoulders above the right wrist. Release the hand on the mat. Right hand, left ankle. Extend that hand forward. Release the hand down. Left hand, right ankle. Extend the hand forward. Release the hand down. Again, right hand, left ankle. Extend forward. Release. One more time, side left hand, right ankle. Extend forward. Release the hand there. Right hand, left ankle. Extend. Exhale to release. Amazing, just coming in to your downward facing dog. And you can even just take a deep breath in through the nose. And just let a big sigh out through the mouth. From here, we're going to walk the hands towards the back of the mat. And then come into a forward fold at the back of the mat. And then breathe in, come up to standing arms overhead. As you breathe out, step your right foot forward. Release the back foot down onto the mat for your Vajrasana 1. Finding strength in this posture again, continuously thinking about your foundation. Thinking about that squareness in the hips, the length through the spine, working through the inner thigh of the right leg to peel that knee open. Release the hands behind the back, preparing for humble warrior. Fingers interlace, draw the hands down, expand through the chest. Shoulder to the inside of the knee, arms overhead. Releasing the head further down with every exhale. Finding your vulture here, so swiveling on the ball of the back foot. Release the hands so they're shoulder width apart, and then lift the torso so palms are spinning inwards. Thumbs are pointing down towards the mat, pinky fingers up towards the ceiling, reaching the crown of the head towards the front of the room, and feeling that strength through the core to allow your torso to hover. If you want to, peel the front heel off the mat. And continue to breathe. Now release the left hand down, release the right heel down, reach the right hand up towards the ceiling, twisted runner's lunge. Press into the feet, twisted high lunge, spinning the torso so it's parallel with the longer end of the mat. Right hand releases down the left leg, left hand up towards the ceiling. Into that peaceful twisted warrior. Inhale to the center. Spin the torso so it's parallel with the shorter end of the mat. Reach the fingertips forward now. and come in to Virabhadrasana 3. Hips parallel with the mat. Release the hands down onto the mat. Reach the left foot up towards the ceiling. Left knee to the outside of the right ankle. Inhale, foot up towards the ceiling. Release the foot down onto the mat. Step back into plank. And then come into downward facing dog. From downward dog, just walk the hands towards the feet. And just flush that out with one big exhale in the back of the mat. Inhale, rise up to standing. As the palms reach up towards the ceiling, step the left foot forward. Just finding that distance between one foot and the other. Then release the back foot down onto the mat, Virabhadrasana 1. Palms spinning inwards, making sure arms are strong as the legs. Pressing into the knife edge of the right foot. Then release the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, draw the hands down, open through the chest. Left elbow, left shoulder to the inside of the knee, arms overhead. And just finding this space through the inner thighs, through the hips sustained, the head closer towards the mat. One more exhale. Pick up the back heel now and release the hands, spinning palms inwards, lift the torso, coming into vulture. Pinkies facing up towards the ceiling, thumbs facing downwards, drawing those shoulders back. Press into the ball of the left foot as you lift the heel off the mat. Core is firmly engaged to keep that chest hovering. And then release the heel down, release the right hand onto the mat, lift the left hand up towards the ceiling. Press into the feet, use your core, use one big in-breath to come into twisted high lunge. Left hand behind, right hand forwards. Release the left hand down the right leg, take the right hand up towards the ceiling, still bending down into that front knee. Arms to shoulder height. Swivel the torso round, high lunge. Reach the fingertips hips forward so much so that your back foot pops off the mat. Warrior 3. Release the hands down, standing split. Right foot comes up towards the ceiling. Right knee to the outside of the left ankle. Inhale, standing split. Release the foot down. Finding the Utkatasana chair pose, bending into the knees. Lift up. Strengthening through the legs. From here, we're going to make our way all the way onto the mat. So you're going to bend the knees, keep on bending, maybe the knees come a little bit further out to the side. And then allow the sit bones to come down, finding Navasana. Palms together in front of the chest. Growing nice and tall. Crown of the head floats up towards the ceiling. Left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Twist round. Come to the center. Right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Make your way to the center. And again over towards the right. And to the center. Right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Come to the center, firmly engaging that core still. Left elbow to the outside of the right thigh, holding it here, or extending both hands. Hands together. Drawing forward. Elbow to the outside of the left thigh. And then drawing the hands. Palms together. Swiveling around, holding it here. Coming into low boat, so extending the hands forward. Feet a couple of inches off the mat. Draw knees in towards the chest. Extend that. Draw forward. Extend. Hold it here, low boat for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Knees in towards the chest, cross the feet, and come into plank. Not finished with our core yet, taking left hand to right ankle, sorry. Left hand reaches forward. Release the hand down. Right hand, left ankle. Straighten that right hand out in front. Release it down. Left hand, right ankle. Extend forward. Release. Right hand, to the left leg. Extend left hand forward. Release it down onto the mat one more time. You side left to right. Left forward. Release. Right hand. Extend it forward. Release it down onto the mat. And then just lower the chest all the way down. Elbows tucked in towards the chest, press into the hands. Lift through that chest. Gaze over the right shoulder into that twisted cobra. Come back to the center. Over the left shoulder. Draw back to the center. Press into the hands and knees, make your way into child's pose, Balasana. Taking sit bones towards the heels, resting the head down onto the mat. Even just taking your knees a little bit wider, just allowing your hips to rest. And still staying active in this posture, still finding space. We're still thinking about how far we can reach the fingertips out in front, how far we can take the sit bones towards the heel. Walk the hands over towards the right side, place the left hand on top of the right hand. And just stretch through the side body. As you breathe in, come back to the center. And then walk the hands over towards the left, right hand on top of the left hand. And back to the center. And then make your way into all fours. Tuck the toes under, straighten the legs, downward facing dog. And again, one big exhale out through the mouth if you need to here. As you breathe in, take the right foot up towards the ceiling. Knee comes in towards the chest. And we're going to place the foot through between the hands, again finding warrior one. So place the back foot down onto the mat. Using this opportunity to make sure your heels are in line. Make sure heel is further out than the toes, press into the feet. And rise up. A little bit of a different arm positioning now. We're going to take the right hand on the left elbow and the left hand on the right elbow and peel back. So opening through the shoulders, opening through the chest, strengthening through the legs still. And then begin to straighten the right leg, swivel the hips so your hips are parallel with the longer end of the mat. We're going to fold from the right hip and then exhale to just lower the torso down. Inhale to lift up, so we're keeping the torso in line with the thigh, using our obliques, so exhaling, lowering down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lowering, this time releasing the right hand and the right leg, lifting the left hand up towards the ceiling, finding Trikonasana. Making sure torso is in line with the thigh, heels are in line. Then extend the left arm overhead. If you want to take this further, also extend your right hand forward, so both hands are facing forward, palms are spinning inwards, we're firmly using our core and obliques. Release both hands down the right leg, melt the torso towards the thigh, then hands frame the front foot, bend into the front knee. Press into the hands, extend the right foot all the way up towards the ceiling. Take the knee towards the right tricep, then the knee towards the left tricep. Take the outside of the right foot down onto the mat, coming into fallen triangle, rotating on the inner edge of the left foot, rising the left hand up towards the ceiling. Pressing into that right hand, tucking the right shoulder blade back, lifting the hips high. Release the left hand down onto the mat, swivel on the outside of the left foot. Press into the left hand, stack the feet on top of one another and lift the right hand up towards the ceiling. And finding strength in Vasisthasana. If you want to, come into a modified version with the left knee on the mat. Staying here, or wrapping by taking the right hand underneath the left side of the ribcage. And inhale to reach up. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale, hand comes underneath the ribcage. Inhale, reach up. 2 more times, exhaling. And inhale. And 1 more to go, exhaling, hand feeds through that space. Inhale, come on. Right hand comes down onto the mat. Swivel on your feet, come into plank. Flush that through with a vinyasa, so bend into the elbow. Chaturanga Dandasana, then inhaling upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. 1 breath deeply out through the nose. Now rise the left foot up towards the ceiling. Send the knee towards the left tricep. Oh no, we're not. We're stepping the foot through between the hands. Place the back foot down onto the mat, press into the feet, coming up into Virabhadrasana 1. And then left hand, right elbow, right hand, left elbow, peel back there. Open through the chest, but still finding that bend in the front knee. Just a couple more breaths here, really sending deeply into this foundation. Straighten the leg. Swivel the hips so they're parallel with the longer end of the mat. As you exhale, torso leans over to the side. Inhaling, using your obliques, come to the center. Exhale. Using your foundation as well here. So really pressing into the feet, using each part of the foot, but trying not to grip on with your toes. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhale, lowering down. Left hand onto the left leg, right hand up towards the ceiling, finding Trikonasana triangle pose. So making sure you've got the correct alignment here, heels are in line, torso is in line with the thigh. Extend the right arm overhead, finding length through the side body. Staying here, or extending the left arm forwards. So again, we're using those obliques. Using the obliques to work us up to Vasisthasana, side plank. Release hands either side of the left foot and melt the torso towards the thigh. Just release through the side body. Now bend into the knee, hands either side of the foot, pick up the back heel. And then from here, we're going to come in to downward facing dog. Extend the left foot all the way up towards the ceiling. Send the knee towards the left tricep. Knee towards the right tricep. Place the outside of the left foot down onto the mat, coming onto the inside of the right foot. Press into the right hand. Left hand, right hand up towards the ceiling. Fallen triangle. Again, lifting up the hips. Place the hand down onto the mat. And then swivel on the outer edge of the right foot. Stack each foot on top of one another and reach the left hand up. Remembering your modifications there. Now if you want to take this further, left hand comes underneath the right side of the ribcage. And then float the hand up. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale, hand comes through the space. Inhaling, so again we're working on these twists but also strengthening through the body. Inhaling. 1 more time, wrapping through. Inhale to reach the hand up. Release the hand down onto the mat, come into plank. Just rinsing that through with vinyasa, so exhaling, lowering halfway. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward dog. From downward dog, finding Malasana, so lift the gaze, bend the knees. Right foot comes towards the outside of the right hand. Left foot to the outside of the left hand, sink down. Elbows to the insides of the knees, palms together, open through the chest. Taking the hips a little bit further, even just swaying from side to side. Extending the left hand forward, reach the right hand up towards the ceiling. Release the hands down. Extend the right hand forward, left hand comes up. Exhale to release. And then just slowly allowing your sit bones to come onto the mat. Cross the feet for a moment, making sure you're in the center of the mat. Then extending the legs forward, coming into Dandasana. Hands either side of the hips. Crown of the head reaches up towards the ceiling. Bend the right knee, place the foot to stand. Coming into Marichyasana, so as you breathe in, extend the right hand up. Lengthen this hand forward, so you're trying to connect the armpits and the knee. Then bend the elbow inwardly, rotating through that right shoulder blade, and if you can, find a bind by wrapping your hands together. Finding length through the spine and even just folding forward slightly. Opening through the shoulder. Release the hands, lengthen through the spine. Place the right hand to the base of the spine. Now lift the left hand up towards the ceiling. Bend the elbow, send the elbow to the outside of the knee, and we're going to twist round. Kissing over the right shoulder. Keeping this left leg active. And just with every exhale, just twisting a little bit further round. As you breathe in, come back to the center, release the right foot, allowing it to meet the left. Inhaling, reaching hands up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, find Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Using every breath in, so almost feel like we're coming out of the posture. And every breath out, we're just sinking a little bit deeper down. Really feeling that stretch through the sacrum. Release hands, gently uncurl the spine, coming to the center. Now we're bending the left knee, placing the foot to standing, finding Marichyasana, so inhaling, reaching the left hand up towards the ceiling, extending that hand forward, creating as much length as we can. Then we're creating as much rotation as we can through the shoulder by hooking the armpit around the shin, turning the hand behind. And then if we can, finding the bind by clasping the hands together. Really pressing into the left foot, keeping that foot sturdy. Create more length and then exhale. So don't worry if you can't get this, it is quite a deep one in the shoulders. So if you can, just continue to find that length and that space through the shoulders. Release hands. Release the left hand to the base of the spine, reach the right hand up towards the ceiling, bending the elbow, elbow to the outside of the knee, twisting round, staying nice and tall. Using every twist just to rinse further out through the internal organs, especially the digestive system, while still drawing that right of the way. And then come back to the center, allow the left foot to meet the right. Breathing in, preparing for Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Imagine I'm pulling your fingers away. You're lengthening through the spine, and then just melt the torso towards your thighs, taking your hands just wherever your body allows it. And just a couple of breaths here. Release the hands, gently uncurl the spine. Place the soles of the feet together now. Coming into Baddha Konasana, round angle pose or butterfly pose. So just drawing the knees out to the sides. Just mindfully working through the inner thighs. Take a breath in to lengthen through the spine, and as you breathe out, just fold from the hips and allow the head to meet the feet. Or just take them in the direction up. Continuously working on mindfully drawing those knees out to the side. And just a couple more breaths. Come back to the center. Take the hands behind, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. So reclined round angle pose. So just extending the sit bones towards the heels. Walk the hands behind, come onto the forearms. And then allow the back to come onto the mat. Take the hands to the inside of the thigh. And just allow the knees to get heavy, even just closing off your eyes. And just allowing the weight of gravity to take those knees closer towards the knee. Just releasing through the abductors and the adductors as you just open through forcing anything, just allowing it to naturally fall. And then place the hands just to either sides of the thighs, just allow the knees to come in towards each other. Place hands either side of the hips, palms facing down. Press into the hands and feet and just slowly allow your hips to rise up towards the ceiling. So finding Settha bridge pose. Making sure the thighs are parallel. And keep reaching the hips further up towards the ceiling. And then as you breathe out, just very, very slowly, allow the hips to come down towards the mat. And again, inhaling, reaching those hips up, pressing into the feet. Working through the inner thighs, working through the glutes, feeling that strength. And then as you breathe out vertebrae by vertebrae, slowly bring your back down onto the mat. And again, inhaling, lifting those hips, lifting the chest up as high as it will go. This time walking your shoulder blades in and either clasping the hands underneath your sacrum or walking the hands to reach the ankles and pressing into the feet so much to allow those hips to lift higher. Finding that nice openness through the chest, that openness through the heart center. And just a few breaths here, continuing to strengthen, continuing to press into the upper arms, the forearms, lifting higher and higher. And then just releasing the hands, come onto the balls of the feet, and just very, very slowly bring your back down onto the mat. And then hug the knees in towards the chest, as the hands around the shins. You can just gently rock from side to side. And just releasing any tension through the lower back. Place the feet down onto the mat, take the arms to shoulder height. Allow the knees to come over towards the right. And take your gaze over to the left. And just finishing off in a reclined twin. So gently stretch through the side body. As you breathe in, bring the knees back towards the center. As you breathe out, take the knees towards the left, take the gaze over towards the right. And just allowing the knees to get heavy. Lift back to the center. This time, taking the knees over to the right. You can take your left leg underneath the right this time if you want to take this further and allow both knees to come over to the side just to deepen through that stretch through the outer side of the left hip. And you can even take arms and gaze over towards the side now. So arms and gaze over towards the left, knees over to the right. As you breathe in, come to the center. Release. Right leg underneath the left. Draw over to the side. Arms and gaze over to the right. And then breathe in, come back to the center. Clasp the hands around the shins, curl up into a little ball and even just rock from side to side. And then time for Shavasana. So if you've got any layers, pop them on. And then when you're ready, come to lie down on the mat, extending your feet to each corner of the mat. Allow the eyes to close over. Placing hands either side of the head. Allowing palms to face up towards the ceiling. creating space between hands and head. Creating space in the back of the neck as you tuck the chin in towards the chest. Take a deep breath in. And just let a big sigh out through the mouth, just completely letting go. And then just feeling this wave of relaxation running from head to toes. And if you've not already done so, allowing your breath to come back to its natural rhythm. So you're not focusing on the breath, you're not controlling the breath. Just allowing it to do its own thing. And just feeling your left arm getting heavier. Your right arm getting heavier. Left leg getting heavier. And right leg getting heavier. And we've been focusing a lot on grounding and earthing in our spring practice. Focusing a lot on really rooting into the mat. So still thinking about that mat underneath you, how it's grounding and earthing you and supporting you. Allow yourself to be supported by the mat, allow yourself to be supported by the ground underneath. But at the same time, just feel yourself melting further into it. Just trying to create stillness in the mind, stillness in the body. And if you've got longer, you can stay here in Shavasana. Or if it's time to just start to bring your awareness into the room. Wriggling fingers and wriggling toes. And lift the arms overhead and take a moment here to really stretch through the torso. Towards the chair. Roll over onto your right side, right arm underneath the head to support the neck. And just when you're ready, come up to a seated position on the mat. Eyes still closed or gaze down. Pausing here for a moment in the stillness. And then lift the arms overhead, bring the palms together. Allow the thumbs to rest in the crown of the head. Take them between the eyebrows to the third eye. Into the heart center. Bow your head. Om Shanti. And thank you all for practicing with me. I hope you enjoy class and I'll see you next time.